Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lavender
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
podcast.
Okay.
And today, we're here
He's
with Disrupt.
I thought you died. Sorry. Yeah, hello, I'm
Yeah,
Disrupt. I
you
exist.
can't
I'm a
take my
person.
place. Oh yeah, I forgot you exist.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah. What's your name, buddy? I forgot yours. You don't introduce yourself, so.
Oh, a mistake.
Okay. That's okay. We'll just move on from that. Today, we have some interesting stories lined up, don't we?
Even though we totally scripted everything.
Yeah, we scripted everything. This what I'm saying right now, we scripted it. Everything what you're hearing, my voice, scripted. Everything that you're thinking about in your brain right now, scripted. God
Like
scripted it.
he went to like the studio. He record he recorded it all just to make you think that he's recording it from home on
Mm-hmm.
his mic, but no.
No,
You're wrong.
it's all it's well. What did we want? We wanted to start off with which one? The my brain hurts.
The talkies?
Yes, yeah, there we go. Uh, Taki story, very interesting story. You wanna
Which perspective you want to do?
you wanna start off about how this started, like what you ate and what happened?
Okay. All right, then I'll start. So, the day before, I was hungry. I was addicted to Takis. This was, oh my, uh,
Nice
two
spicy
years ago?
chips. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I did this 2 years ago. I was addicted to Takis. I enjoyed them. But, so what happened after was I would eat them one night, and I don't know why. I just enjoyed them so much, and I don't understand why. But, so I woke up next day. Was trying to get on the bus and everything. I was doing everything normal. And then I realized, as I'm walking in the building, I have to use the bathroom. So then I like pull
Hmm.
it off. I'm like, oh no, it can't be that bad, right? I didn't piece
Hmm.
it together that it was Takis, so I'm just doing my thing.
During this, like we're just talking, nothing happens. It's been a very
Oh
normal
yeah,
day, very normal
oh
day.
yeah. John was there the whole day,
Hmm.
actually,
So I can see
basically.
him slowly just bad things happening.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, we were in our old sixth grade teacher's room at the time. We were having class and stuff. And then my stomach started to rumble a little bit at a time. I was getting a little concerned. And then it started to hurt. And then I realized, oh no, I have to go.
Oh, and he
So
and
then,
I
oh
heard
my God,
this.
as I'm explaining this, my stomach starts to hurt. I
Oh
haven't
God.
even eaten Takis,
No,
but
but during that like moment of regret is when like it
I
started to
turned to him.
spread to like our close friends in a way that things are going wrong. Because I'm pretty sure you told like two other
Yeah.
people that things are
Yeah,
not going well.
so I think this is the time. So there was this the classroom we were in, me and John were on opposite sides of. And I look at him, and I
Mm.
have this panic look at my face, I think.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
he just knew. Like he knew what I was saying just from my desperate crying for help eyes.
Yeah, but
That oh
here's the thing is you asked to go to the bathroom. You went and you were gone for like a good 5 to 10 minutes. You come back. We thought the problem was over. We were like, oh, solution. We reached the solution. It was all fine. He just needed to use the bathroom. We were wrong. We were really wrong.
so from what I remember, I did go and everything, but let's just say it took a lot of pain and it's like giving birth, but to a
Oh
burrito.
my God, you can't say that. Women nowadays are just like, no. I don't know why I
Oh
said
yeah,
nowadays,
I'm
but
sorry. I'm
I
so
mean in general.
offensive. God.
Yeah, I know.
But so anyways, we were just doing everything. And then it was like a period or two later, so this is like almost 2 hours later, and we're walking to lunch. And then I like whisper to John, I'm like, John, I gotta really go to the bathroom.
And we're like walking by the gym with a bathroom, right? Too.
I I think we were getting out of the gym.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think.
I think so, maybe.
Yes. But
Yeah.
like we had our own group at the time, table 4, always. So we
Yeah.
were going, and then I sat at the table, and I was like paranoid. So like, I was doing that thing where you make your like knee move up and down rapidly. I
Mhm.
was looking around. I was becoming more sweaty too. Then I told my friend Melody, I was like, I gotta go.
This
Then I
sounds
tell
like you're on
Matt, I gotta
drugs.
go. I swear I wasn't. It's just these Takis were so good but
These
bad.
Takis. Yeah.
And then Matt looks at me in concern. Melody is just laughing in the background. And so then John, he's like yelling at me. He's like telling me, "Go already then." So then I try, and I went, and everything
I
was fine. This part I did not tell John. 2 years later, you think I would have?
but before we get to that part that you haven't told me, um, uh, just from the beginning of the day, I've slowly seen this man go from sane to insane. He went from just a normal guy to someone who has a bomb in his body ready to go off at any moment. It was just it was bad. It was
Drugs.
bad. Not
Just drugs. Don't do them, kids, or else you'll end up like Uncle Dom here,
good.
constipated with Takis. Oh,
Okay,
but
tell me what you were gonna
so
say.
so I never told John this, but or I think I probably
Mm,
did. I just don't say it as frequent. So what happened was is I go home and everything. We didn't have any homework or anything to do. So I'm just like I get on my TV and stuff. I put on I'm about to burp, but I put on a little bit of YouTube. Wow, that was such a terrible
that
burp.
was
But
funny.
oh, thanks. But so I get onto YouTube and everything. And I think to myself, I'm hungry.
Wait, don't tell me you're about to do what I think. Well, did you do what I'm about? What'd you do?
So my dad, he was like, "Oh, there's still some Takis in the cabinet." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So I grabbed a bag of Takis, the same ones I had yesterday. Now my hands
Something with that
were
bag is
red.
just messed up, then.
My hands were red all day from the Takis. So literally, I had the evidence all day on my fingers
You were
that
caught
a
red-handed. Okay, maybe not the time, but let's keep going. What?
Why is it funny?
I don't think it's that funny.
This is not even funny. Okay. So what I did was I was watching I forget who I was watching at the time, but no, I think I was just listening to music. I was listening to music and I was eating them. And luckily it didn't last all day next day, but that same night. I finished at 2 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to go at 4. And
In the morning?
my stomach's rumbling as I'm explaining this. God, oh God. But yeah, it was let's just say imagine having a party, okay? Imagine having a party. You know, you had all this excitement, you have all this energy in an instant, and then it disappears the next day. Yeah, that was my situation, but not a party. It was a fiesta.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand. Yeah, keep going.
Okay, so I
Was
put
this
all my
happening in
energy.
your body?
No, I
Oh,
went to use
oh,
the bathroom. There was a fiesta that was happening inside me,
oh, okay.
and it was like, you know those aliens that have those little eggs that jump out and eat your face, then you have that thing come out of your stomach, like Mortal Kombat
Yeah,
X.
like Alien.
Yeah, that's what I said, but that's what it felt like. It
Okay.
was amazing, and this is why I haven't eaten Takis in quite some time.
Wow. I thought there was gonna be another extended version. That's
No, sadly
ta
not.
is that
I
why?
mean, you could explain your point of view if there's anything.
Yeah, you also came like when the first time you came to my house. I had Takis and you like didn't eat them at all. But was there some trauma there at all?
Oh, no, I ate like very few, but I was like, dang,
Yeah.
this is really hot. And so then I devoured your Cape Cod chips.
Ah, yeah.
So I always ask my mom for Cape Cod chips now instead of Takis, because
Takis
no.
give you bad problems.
No, they just, they're the reason I go to therapy.
Okay.
I
Are we
need a
bringing
lot
back
of
some
potty
bad
training now
memories
these days.
or? But let's you wanna talk about our other story, the this one was this year at school,
Oh,
the running story.
I was so, I'm so excited to tell this one. But go
O-
ahead. I want you to explain this one since I explained the last one.
Okay, well, so let me. Okay, so we were at lunch, right? And we were. Oh, you forgot something in our
I
teacher's
forgot my
room.
hat.
Yeah, you forgot your hat, and your hat is like made to you, so you needed that.
Yeah.
And you forgot your hat at in the teacher's classroom, and the teacher's classroom was like there's this really long hall of just like classes to get to this classroom because this classroom was at the end of the hall. So us two were like, huh, why not? We kind of just like started like
We didn't even say it.
no, we kind of just started walking faster, both of us, like at the same
Yeah.
time. We ended up sprinting down to the
So
classroom.
fast.
So we were it was just a race at that point. And when we were running down, I tripped like 4 times in that like 20-second period of running. It was the most it was I like lost balance or something. It was the worst I've ever run in my life. I don't know what was in me, but it's probably Takis. No, but uh we get to the end of the hall and you grab your hat and then the teacher comes up like two of the teachers from that hallway, right? Like as
First,
we're
it was the
exiting.
lady teacher.
Yeah, there's two teachers, was the lady. The first was the lady that were in that hallway, and we're walking out of the classroom, and she's like, "Hey, did you two like, were you two
No,
like
she was
running?"
like, no, she was like this. She was like, you two come with me.
Oh
Then we
yeah,
go to
she
Mr.
was.
room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
We go,
so
yeah.
we go to our teacher's room because we are in trouble. This lady teacher's like, you're in trouble, blah blah blah, because she saw us running. And then this old math teacher guy, he walks
The
up to the
dude,
situation.
no.
What
So what I
happened?
believe actually happened was the lady, um, brought us to the teacher's classroom and it was like, do you, like, you brought us with her and she asked the teacher we were going to, like, uh, do you know the boys who were running?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And then, but moments before, that's when the guy came in, and that's where you were.
yeah. And then the guy teacher, he's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw them. He was wearing like a gray hoodie and like uh or no, he was like he was wearing like a hoodie. It was like it was a I was
It
like
was
looking
color.
at, yeah, and I was looking at Dom. I was like, he said hoodie.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. And because you're like known, I guess, for your hoodie in a way. Um
Yeah.
but But then he says, this kid with the gray hoodie, and I look at Dom. He's wearing a black hoodie, and currently I have a gray hoodie, but I wasn't wearing it. I'm like, wait, I'm not wearing my hoodie. Who is he talking about? Like, so this teacher's basically like saying, yeah, this kid with the gray hoodie was the one running. None of us are wearing a gray hoodie. We kind of get off the hook in a way, and like at that point, the lady teacher's like, oh, okay, you two, you can go now. So we just kind
Oh
of
yeah.
like walked like back to the lunchroom and stuff. But this is my speculation, but what I think was one of my friends was having lunch with our teacher, and I think he was walking down to like the bubbler or the bathrooms, and he was wearing a
Yeah,
gray
he
hoodie.
was.
So I think
Yeah,
that
that's the yeah.
that guy teacher thought that my friend was the one who was
Yeah.
actually running, but it was us.
Yeah,
So
that's who I thought he was confusing it with.
yeah. So moral of the story is run
Always keep running.
and yeah, always keep running.
Yes, exactly.
And whatever you do, don't
But
stop. Don't stop. And
and
if you are running, make sure that there is someone else to take your place with the blame. And yeah.
and we got so lucky too because we were running to a teacher. It's like it's one of the best teachers. So when she asked our teacher if like he's seen the people who are running, he was like, "No, I haven't." Cause
I
I know he knows that. Cause I had him after lunch, and he asked me about the running thing,
oh really?
knowing
See,
it was me.
I thought he was like actually he didn't know what was going. I thought he actually just was like didn't know
No,
who
he
did it.
knew.
My, that was. I mean, hey, you know.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like,
That's so
guess it
sad how I
worked.
feel so bad for that. Like not feeling like bad, bad, but like bad boy kind of bad.
You're a bad boy. And literally, as we're walking back to the lunchroom, we look at each other and we're like, we gotta tell the podcast. We instantly both knew.
Yeah,
We're just like, that's a podcast story right
yeah.
there.
We were like, bro, this is a podcast story.
Because at the moment, we were just like, whoa, that was the most like we almost got in really so much trouble, but we got away with it. But in hindsight, looking back at it, it wasn't that epic. It really wasn't that epic at all.
At
But
the moment
it was
of every
epic.
feeling and moment that we were in, it was pretty epic.
Yeah, but looking back on
I
it, it
I
wasn't
think it's
that
so cool the way it ended up though, where like they confused the people, like
bad.
who was running and everything.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, dude, I just got a memory of a
But
story, but I don't remember what I was gonna say. But you have anything you wanna?
earlier we were talking about the Arkham games, but we wanted to
Uh,
save it for the podcast.
so if you've been living under a rock, there are these games. They're called Batman games, and the series
It's
is
just the Batman
Batman.
Arkham series.
Yeah, Batman Arkham series, 4 games: Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight. And Arkham Origins is made by a new studio than the rest of the games and all that. So yeah. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. If you've lived, you know these games. So we're kind of debating on our favorite because I was playing City and I was kind of like trying to beat it in like one sitting, I guess. And uh, basically, let's give our opinions on them.
Okay.
I what we were talking about is I really people say like that Asylum and City are the best of the games.
Oh yeah, they
Personally,
do.
I hate Asylum. There's something about it. Hot take. I hate Asylum. No, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it. I just don't like it like at all. There's something. It all also is like the first game in the series, so everything is kind of like not really complete. Like the story is kind of like not good. The boss battles kind of suck,
You
and
kind of got thrown into Asylum. I mean, not Asylum, but like the other ones, so you had higher expectations, kind of, I think.
Asylum was the first one I ever played, but I was like 2, so I beat like the first level and that was it.
Yeah.
And and then City was like the first. No, City wasn't even the first one I beat. I think Night was the first one I like actually beat,
Yeah.
because City I didn't really do anything. And then I went back and played them all, and just like City holds up, Origins holds up, Night is it's Night, and then Asylum just it wasn't. I played like half of it and I got bored. Like I've never been so bored of a game. It something about it and like the boss battles
It's
suck.
very slow pace.
The combat is like
I think that's why.
so much. It's still in its like beta phase basically. But what's your opinion on Asylum really? You have anything?
On
There?
on Asylum, I don't know. It's hard to really explain because that's my childhood. So like with me, I didn't care. I enjoyed that game every bit, every day. You know, back then I had this demo version of it where I played the first level of when Joker just like got uncuffed, and I replayed that same mission so many times
Dude, it's
because
funny
I
because
enjoyed that
that
game.
thing happened to me, but it was City. Like with you,
Really?
it was Asylum, but for me, it was City that happened to.
That's so weird. Ooh.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's weird. But
With
yeah. Go ahead.
with me, on Asylum, they do well when it comes to the side missions feeling like it's like something you need to do. With Asylum to Origins, it didn't feel like it was something to do. It just felt like it was just a distraction.
What do you
But
mean? Like the side missions?
like mainly the Riddler trophies. The Riddler trophies I could not care less about. I just couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
I I I mean, I hate it in Asylum, but they make it feel like it's more of a priority in it, which is
Yeah,
something
because
I think is good. But
it's the only thing you can do in that one though. Like after the story, really.
in Asylum, one of the things I do is I always go back to it all the time because I
Yeah.
always want something in it.
For
But the
me, it's
problem
City,
is
the one
that
I always go back to. I think we just have that thing where you have Origin, or not Origin, Asylum is yours, but like, and mine's City.
I I remember City coming out, but I'll talk about that after. But
Yeah.
when Asylum, uh, when I was playing Asylum, I enjoyed it so much. Like the story and everything was just amazing. I think it's because you played it at such a different time than I did. I played it at a time where it was like when it was so popular because this was the first like superhero game that was successful, that was good, that was accepted.
Other than
So it
Spider-Man,
was
but yeah.
so yeah, but it was so amazing to me because this is my favorite superhero that I get to be. I could
Yeah,
be
I
yeah.
do think that you had more of a like you had a very like I guess nostalgic where in a way it's like people, you played it, you were like everyone you had that reaction of like you felt and everyone felt like, oh, this is the first good Batman game. Me, it was more like, oh, I picked this up at a store. This I saw Batman. It was cool. I didn't know anything about it at all. And then I was like, like you I didn't have like any like public opinion to it like or anything. It was more just like me playing it and being like, okay, this game's boring. I've played it for like half of it. I don't want to play anymore. Okay, let me search up Batman on my Xbox 360. Oh shoot, Batman Arkham City demo. Oh, let me install that. I play that for 15 minutes, like back to back to back. And it's like, you know, that was my thing, was where like I think that it was just me in Asylum. There was no like people to like be like, oh, this is the first one. And also at the same
Mhm.
time, a little bit like I think at the same time actually, I was playing Spider-Man Web of Shadows, which is like probably one of the best
Ooh.
Spider-Man games before like the new one. Uh, so
Mhm.
that compared to like this Batman game was just like it just didn't compete in a way to
In
me
a way.
because like you have a whole city to play with. The story didn't.
Mhm.
It felt I guess not as attached but it did. It felt more fun. It felt more not refined, but just fun, for the Spider-Man game. So then when I come to this Batman game where it's a lot more grounded in reality, it felt weird, especially since I was so young. So it's like I was more about the didn't care about the
Just to
story at that time.
clarify, we don't believe that everybody agrees with this. This is just our general
Yeah,
opinion. So like before anybody thinks to say anything, just realize that this is generally our opinion. If you strongly disagree with it, then you can like press away all you want. That's totally fine. But for those people who do, then cool. You know.
yeah. It's kind of interesting
But
though how we had different like almost perspectives on how this game was.
I I remember when City was coming out. There's this little like credit card shaped card of City. I had it and I was like, man, this is really cool. I was getting excited for it. I really loved the black and white art it
And then
had.
the red with like the blood was the only
The
thing that was
blood,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
That was so cool to me, I think. And oh shoot, I should ask for it, but I didn't get it. But there's this special edition where Batman would be like um on his knee
Game of the
and
Year edition.
that's probably what it is, but he's like looking towards just he's just looking ahead with his fist up and then the other one down. Like the moment
See,
he's facing Joker, I think.
I would
And I
always
really need it.
watch the. I guess we've moved on to City at this point, but I
Yeah.
basically would always watch the like when I had that was playing that like City demo. I would always
Hmm.
love watching that like Game of the Year edition trailer because it looked so cool and it had like there was Nightwing in it and Robin and it was just amazing. But I don't know, something about it. It was before like even Origins came out at this point where like that's when I got into it. And I guess I guess we've kind of figured out our format already. So I'll just do you want me to go for my opinions on City or do you have something to say before I?
I feel like you've said a lot, but you can continue if you want.
Oh, okay. Well, uh, ci uh, okay. City was more of I guess you had more of a connection to Asylum. I had one more with City. So I actually think the first
Hmm.
time I really played City was like kind of I don't it was I don't even know, but it was just I didn't even do the missions kind of. I just kind of like messed around with the city because at that time it was more just like ooh free roam, let me just fly around. But this the combat was way more refined than like Asylum. It just felt a lot more coherent, I guess, which is obviously it's a sequel, so it's obviously gonna feel that way. The story felt a lot better. Joker's felt a lot more. It made sense where he's not just pumping himself with Titan at the end of the game like Asylum, and his Joker's death
Hmm.
was great. Everything like that was great. The
I
bosses were a
didn't
little like
really enjoy
little bit
it.
better. Would you enjoy what?
I mean, actually, go ahead. Just finish your opinion up and then.
Well, that's basically it. But oh, the city was pretty cool
Well,
too. But it had character, and all the city had character. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yeah. Well, you say what you were gonna say. About your
I think that I don't want to say City was the worst. I'm not trying to. I don't think it was. I think it was very well done at the time.
I also
But
think you have a lot of nostalgia for Asylum, and I have a lot more for City. City is like people say is the best, and I guess I can agree with that.
it's just I feel like because I'm more into like dark stuff, like horror stuff, kind of. So I feel like I think it's that it didn't really have that element to it. It had more of a crime fighting element rather than an intimidating
Had
dark
more of like a, we need to
element.
save this place now or something, that type of.
Yeah, and I didn't like this Joker. Like he was the same one. Like shout out to Heath Ledger though. Like come on, that
What?
dude's perfect for Joker voices.
What did you say?
I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just kidding.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
That's a dark joke. But yeah, go
I know. Why so serious?
ahead.
But um, I mean, he was good. Heath Ledger was a good Joker. But anyways, I didn't like this Joker because I didn't feel like he really did much. I feel like he was more of a distraction. He didn't really feel like the main villain. He just felt like a stick that was being poked, that was poking Batman.
See,
Really?
I I think that I think the Asylum Joker is kind of like and the City one was very like um was just a little bit of a better version, and I feel like there was almost three main villains in a way, where it was like Ra's al Ghul is the
Ra's
guy
al
behind
Ghul.
everything, or yeah, and
Yeah.
then like
Mr. Freeze.
well, Strange is the one that's like kind of orchestrating everything, and it
Oh
turns out
yeah,
it's Ra's
yeah.
al Ghul. And then, but Joker felt like the one that's like your focus on the most of the time. So I felt
I
that one was well. I have played the story like today, so I do have more of
yeah.
a fresh opinion on it. But
I
yeah,
I feel like Strange was a good villain in it. I felt like I focused on him more because in the end, it really felt like he was the main villain.
well, okay. So
And I didn't like. Hmm,
I was playing it earlier, and he's like not in the story at all. He just kind of talks over the comms. Like Joker is way more
yeah.
focused on. So in a way, Strange is like the antagonistic force, and then Joker's the main villain. But then it turns out at the end that it's Ra's al Ghul behind everything.
Mm, I see. But I don't. I don't know how to put it exactly. It's just it didn't really feel like Joker was the main one. And then they put what was his name, Clayface, in it out of nowhere.
Clayface. Clayface's thing was good, but
It
it
was
was very.
cool, I guess, but like it
I
felt
mean,
so random. It felt like a
it
last
made the
second thought.
it made the Joker feel it made more sense. My problem with Clayface wasn't that it was a second thought, but was he fell into the Lazarus pit, and it didn't do anything. Like you'd think that like that'd be like a boss battle like in like the next game.
Yeah.
Like that pit brings people back to life, and a clay monster just fell into it, and you tell me that just killed him?
I guess
That's
so.
where like my problem with Clayface was.
Wait,
But
Solomon Grundy was in it too, right?
yeah,
I didn't like that either.
people said the Solomon Grundy fight and the Mr. Freeze fight. I've played it today. Solomon Grundy fight. They say that those fights are the best fights in like the game in the city. I disagree. I think
I didn't
this
like Mr. Freeze.
Solomon Grundy one
I
was
like
bad.
Solomon's better.
Mr. Okay, Solomon's was bad. It was really easy, and I was playing in a hard mode, the hardest difficulty. Mr. Freeze's was,
Uh,
my opinion, really good. It wasn't good. Actually, it wasn't really good, but it wasn't bad. It was more just like
it's I'd say it's difficult and hard.
no. It was hard. But it was a good hard for me because I'm more of like I I just play games to like the max. So for me, I love the idea that I'm already on hard difficulty, and a boss battle would already be hard. But now I have to stealth take down this guy multiple times and not use the same strategy each time. It's a pretty easy battle in general, but it makes, you're being tracked a lot, it's more like you mess with the mechanics of the boss fight is what you're doing with that fight. It's a good fight. Both of them are really easy. Like when I was playing the Solomon Grundy fight, I was literally just like running around. I wasn't dodging any of his attacks. I was just destroying the like generators that gave him his health. I was just running through it. I wasn't even like trying. But the Mr. Freeze one, I kind of gave more thought into because I actually have to like not use the
You
same
have to be
strategy choice.
very tactical.
Yeah, and we're very different like gamers in a way. So I like how
Oh
we have
yeah.
very different opinions in this.
Mm. But I also didn't like they didn't have a very good variety of Batman skins to pick from.
Oh yeah, that
And the
definitely.
Batman Beyond one felt like it was a mod thing rather than an actual
Yeah,
skin.
but in Asylum, you literally had one skin to pick from, and then there was an armored version of it. There was no skins on
Yeah.
that one.
Well, I mean, I liked that one. I don't know why I like that one for some reason.
I don't know. I just
I
disliked it a
guess
lot.
it feels like it's Ultimate Batman. I don't know, but
I do think a lot of it might be nostalgia, but it could be wrong.
I mean, But I mean, okay, do you want to move on to Origins now?
Yeah, let's move on to Origins. You want to start off with your opinion, or do you want to keep the same flow? It's up to you.
Okay. I'll start off with my opinion
Yeah,
because you start off with yours. But I think Origins was a good one. I think it was a really good one to play.
yeah, we both
I
liked
enjoyed
that
it.
one, and people really hated it. Like a lot of other people hated
Really?
it. Dude, it was. People say it's the worst one.
I mean, no, I can't see it being the worst. Like,
Just because these people didn't. I don't know. There's something about it. Just I guess something people didn't like it.
I liked the quote unquote introduction to Joker for the quote unquote first time. Because in
Yeah.
this one, he looked scary. He actually looked
N-
intimidating,
He
you know?
felt scared. Like he sounded more. I like this voice actor a little
And
bit
his
better. Not to
smile.
trash on Mark Hamill, but like his character felt more like I felt more intimidated because the other Jokers felt a lot more. I don't know, cartoony.
Mm, Well, I like his voice better because it's more iconic, but
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
but I I loved how there were so many people to take from Deadshot to Deathstroke to Bane. I loved that. I enjoyed it.
yeah. The assassin's plotline was pretty good. The only
Dude,
problem
that
I
was so
had
good.
was like there was one or two like assassins that were kind of shoved into the game. Like what was it,
I think
Shiva
it
or
was the lady that is a male, and then there's Firefly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Those two I
yeah.
didn't really.
Firefly was
Eh,
fine. His thing kind of like worked with the story, but the Shiva or whatever her name is didn't really work for me.
yeah. That, yeah. But I like how this Batman is the kind of Batman that, that I like. It's more of an intimidating, dark, very scary Batman. It's the
Hmm.
one that I'm into. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
because you saw, if there's also a series where Hollow played it, if you saw in the third part, he was like interrogating someone, and the moon was right behind Batman. He looked all black, basically, and his eyes are the only things that are white. And it looks so scary, but very cool scary.
Yeah. I
And
also
I like how it's the same map. It's the same map, basically,
yeah, it's
just
a
with different
city.
locations in a way.
One problem that not I had, but most fans of City had, I not playing City, I can understand this problem. Is the city map had a lot of character and had a lot of feel and had a lot of like in depth, like had like depth in a way. But since like Origins takes place before, all that like depth of the map that like is kind of gone in a way. Like all the color, like with City, you never had to use the map to know where you were. With Origins, I felt like you
Hmm.
had to a lot more. It felt
Yeah, it
less
wasn't as
unique.
bright.
Yeah.
It was because I think because it was at that time where Batman was only myth and no one had anyone to believe in, so they would like try to shelter themselves out all the
Yeah, and
time.
Arkham City wasn't a thing yet, like the actual place. So like it's that place town was to take place before it was actually like a wasteland, criminals. So I
Yeah.
guess that's why, but it didn't work too well. I mean, it worked, but not too well for me and a lot of people. But what about
I
the combat and
just
stuff like that? What did you think of that, like compared to the other
the
last two games?
combat I don't the combat in Asylum was easy to understand, but it was slow. I think in Asylum it was definitely slow. That's a flaw I can say. In City, they kind of picked up with him being more accurate and fast. It's just sometimes the blocking was a little off. But in Origins, I think it was like really good, because you're supposed to be this beefy up kind of Batman, intimidating, scary. You'd expect him to at least, block a few punches and hit hard.
One thing I do have is I've I noticed since I've played him a little bit more recently. I'm saying that a lot, but in a way, the problem with the like that you had at City where you wouldn't block as much. Like it would be a little more off. I had that problem a lot more on Origins than in City. I think it was mainly because like it wasn't Rocksteady, so they were adapting something that they didn't make.
Yeah.
But with City, I felt like I do like a lot of the more I think the like shot gloves and stuff like that, and like the gadgets were
Oh
more
yeah.
improved in Origins, but like the combat itself felt, especially like City felt really good, like combat wise, like just fist to fist.
Hmm. One thing that I hate in all the games, but that's just that's just the way it is. I hate the snipers. They
I
were so
never had a
annoying.
problem. What do you mean by that? Like just like
Like if you get caught once. No,
yeah,
it was just annoying in general because they have that annoying sound when they're about to hit you that goes meow, pew, and it was always so annoying.
really?
It's like
I,
I don't.
I haven't noticed that. Like what games do you mean? Like all of them?
The one I can mainly highlight with that is Asylum.
Well, yeah, I played like Asylum with like the sound off 90% of the time just because like I did not wasn't entertained at all. So,
I mean that's fine,
cause
obviously,
um,
but
cause in City there's only like one mission with snipers really, and then like I think kind of same
yeah,
with Origins. I don't even remember snipers in Origins. I could be wrong. And then in Night I don't
I
remember
remember in
snipers
City,
either. Yeah, there's only one mission in City that actually had it. One or two, one or two.
but I also think one of the things. I mean, actually, this relates to this. I mean, there's a story about this actually for me, but one of the things I enjoyed was the online thing where you could be the bad guys or you could be Batman and or Robin.
See,
I enjoyed that a lot.
it wasn't polished though. That was my one problem with it. It was definitely
It
not
was
polished.
it had some it had like bad connection at the time sometimes.
Thing is, uh, it was so hard to find a game also because no one really played it. But I do think it wasn't something that they like. I do hope because apparently WB, like the people that made Origins, are going to make a new game, like called Batman Legacy. It's rumored, and
Yeah.
hopefully they do bring back that like online thing because it was a good idea. It was awesome. Like I would want to do like something where you're Batman, I'm Robin type of thing, where we're like in the same game.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they could do it less of like a online mode, but more like a what Far Cry does, where like they just have like you and your friend doing the story together. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
a duo
Batman and
story, I
Robin
see.
doing the story, you know? Or since Batman
Yeah.
Legacy is supposed to have like the whole Bat family, maybe like you have one friend playing Nightwing, one being Robin, and then one being Batman, and you're all doing the story. And like since there's three of you, there's a lot more bad guys in each fighting scenario. There's a lot more like people during the stealth mission, a lot more like challenge since there's more of you. I feel like would be a fun thing to do. It would be hard. I think two people would be have to be the max for something like that. But like it'd be definitely be really fun, I feel. But
Yeah,
back on track for the original.
but I definitely think that, you know, it was good, but when I was 7 and I played it, or 6, I played it on my dad's account, and I didn't know about like the whole online stuff, so I didn't really care about any of that. So, 7 years later, this was almost a year ago or a couple months ago, and so what happened was is there's this message from this dude. I was playing Origins at the time. Mind you, this was like on my PlayStation 3, so this was like a whole weird, super weird experience. So I went on it and everything, and there was this text from when I played it, and this guy said, "Wow, you must be really good. Too bad that you were hacking." And I got confused because I was 7. I didn't know how to hack or mod, anyways.
Were you like
So
playing as Batman or Robin at the time? Like when you were saying
I would
older.
always play as Batman.
Okay, so how do you hack as Batman? Like I can understand maybe like one of the guys with guns.
Well, this is PlayStation 3. Mods were more of a higher chance. I think he's just referring to that because mods were so much more of a bigger thing in 360 and 3. But I definitely enjoyed the online thing. I really hope that they can polish it and get something like that if there is a new game. I don't have high hopes for it, but if they do, then I at least hope that they add online because I was really bummed out when I figured out it wasn't in Asylum.
You mean night?
So, yes, I knew that. Yep.
Well, let's. Do you want to
It's
move on to night
yeah.
then, since we're.
Yeah. I was thinking like, you know what? If I said that, would that be a perfect
Hey,
transition?
here. Let me set it up. Let me read it now. Good morning. Okay, I'm kidding. But uh, combat, great. You know, the hand stuff. Um, here, I'm just gonna pick on it. I'm gonna put it into categories real quick.
Oh, here we go.
Combat, hand to hand, was great, right? The stealth sections sucked because there was too many crates everywhere. Remember, you know what I mean? How you could always just go into the crates every time? It's trash.
I think
Poor
so.
design. Poor design.
Oh
Batmobile.
my.
Why? Get out of my face. Level design.
Batmobile, why?
Level design. This goes to the stealth also. Crates everywhere. Why? Batmobile. Why? You need the Batmobile for everything. The story. Why? It makes no sense. I feel like you could have beaten Scarecrow the first time you see him if it wasn't for the
Oh
stupid
yeah.
Joker. The
Yeah.
stupid Joker. Why is Joker in this game? He does not need to be in this game. He was in the last three. He shouldn't have even been in Origins. But it worked out in Origins a little bit. But this he shouldn't have been in here. No, just no. I'm angry. I'm very angry.
Anyways,
The
so
the city was good. The gliding was good. All that was good. Traversal was good. The Batmobile was good when it wasn't used in the story. The Batmobile shouldn't have been a tank. It should have just been a vehicle to travel. It should have just been like a car, not like
I did not
a
like the
tank.
design of the Batmobile.
It should have just been like a car, not a tank. It shouldn't have been in the story at all. Maybe like one mission to like introduce it or something. But like that's it. No.
See, I actually enjoyed the Batmobile, but I did not enjoy how you had to depend on it so much.
Yes, I
You had to
liked it
depend
the
on it so
first time.
much to where I literally don't enjoy the Batmobile. Like, I always wanted one of his vehicles, mainly his Batjet, but I mean, for the Batmobile to be that much of a value, it just didn't feel worth it.
Yeah, everything Batman could do for the last three games all by himself and now needs the Batmobile. Doing stealth, you do it in the
That's a good
Batmobile.
point.
Doing puzzles, you now do it in the Batmobile. Fighting enemies, you
Yeah,
now do it in the Batmobile. Traveling, you
cause it's
now
like,
do it in the Batmobile. Everything is in the
cause,
Batmobile.
cause it's like, the last three, you're independent. The only time you would ever need the Batmobile or something was when you needed the gadget or your suit. Now you have to depend on it so much. And remember, like, everybody when it came out, everybody's complaining about how bad it was on PC.
Mm. Actually,
That
this
was a
reminded me of something.
big blow.
They don't. I like that Origin had the Bat Cave. They should have had that, and other ones. But
Oh, dude, that was awesome. I thought it was
yeah.
so cool.
But
That's why
it's
I liked Asylum as well. The little cinematic it had when you glide into it.
yeah. Okay. Anyway, I didn't. The Arkham Knight is the title character, and he's not even in the game at all. Like, it's Batman
I f
is the title, and then Arkham Knight is the subtitle, and Arkham Knight isn't in the game at all. He's like,
Jason Jason wasn't even a thought ever. we never knew Jason was going to be a character in this game because he wasn't not in any of these other games. So
Think
it feels like they just turned the Arkham story and that story of Red Hood and
Under the
somehow
Red
tried
Hood,
to
yeah.
twist it together.
Thing is once like in the first trailer when they like introduced the Arkham Knight, everyone was like, okay, maybe it's Jason. And pe people who haven't even don't even like haven't even read the Under the Red Hood story, like someone like me at the time, I knew it was Jason. I was like, this is definitely Jason Todd. You know, Red Hood is pretty cool. But once I saw that character, I saw the shape of that character, I saw how that character acted. I knew it was Jason Todd, and most people did, and that's what was the most annoying thing. Everyone was like, "Oh, dude, it's so good that Rocksteady are making their own original character for this game," but they didn't. They just took Red Hood and make it worse.
So I never actually saw a trailer. I saw the trailer that's like, do you know the trailer that was like, "Be the Batman"?
Mm-hmm.
I would see that all the time, and I actually enjoyed those trailers because I always loved the Batman trailers that were like that because they look so realistic and look so well done. I enjoyed
Yeah.
those trailers a lot. I thought those were well done, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know it was Jason Todd, to be honest with you,
That's
because all that
interesting.
stuff wasn't as important to me.
It's interesting because you were more of like a Batman fan than me, but
I was a huge Batman fan.
I was more I am like a guy for like uncovering stories and
You're
stuff.
into Spider-Man, so
Yeah, but I really like Jason Todd and I do like the Robins and the
yeah.
especially the Under the Red Hood story is really good. I love the animated like story of that. But I just
Oh, dude, that's amazing.
yeah, it's great. But like
Oh yeah.
it's weird to me how you didn't think it was Jason, but you're so much more like into Batman than I was.
Well, yeah. I mean, at the time, like you always knew me. I never really cared about stories. I just played them.
Hmm.
So when I
I
figured out
was
it was Jason Todd, I was like, whoa.
I was also a guy for more like for the details also. Like
Yeah.
something stupid like you'll be like, dude, I know so much about Batman. I'll be like, okay, what's his blank suit called? And you'll be like, I don't know. And then I'll be like, it's this, and it won't you know matter that like
Right.
I know the name of the suit, but like doesn't show that I'm more of a fan. It just shows that I'm more like into details, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm still as big of a Batman fan as I once was, but I'd still say he's definitely my top favorite superhero still. Because it's
Yeah.
just like, I mean, yeah, in my opinion, I think there could be way better superheroes, but like, I don't know, just something Batman fits the aesthetic thing that he has that I love. Because I like dark, intimidating stories. But like John, he likes Spider-Man. He's more of like a chill, fun kind of guy. But he can still
Well,
be a hero
depends.
and stuff in serious
The Super
situations.
Spider-Man stories I love because they're dark. Like the Craven's Last
Hmm.
Hunt, which I don't think you know. It's a
Isn't that
dark,
the Wild Dude?
yeah, it's a dark story and it's really good. It's a lot of the thing with Spider-Man. I guess we're moving more away from the art games, which is fine. But it's it's a guy with it's a superhero with human problems, and I think that like that. Well, okay, with Marvel, the usually the superheroes kind of are cursed in a way. They feel like that their powers are a curse, and they don't really want to be
Right.
superheroes. But with a lot of DC, it's a lot of they are gods, like Superman in a way, like they're aliens, or they're people that get their powers through training, like Batman.
Yeah.
So both have their different, like Marvel is a very different from, you know, DC in that regard. Some would say that, Marvel's is more interesting or DC's is more interesting. They're both interesting. It just depends on how you use that. And in movies, for example, Superman isn't interesting because they don't use that at all. Or Batman, his no killing rule is really important to his character. But in the movies, like Batman vs Superman, they don't care about that no killing rule, so it makes his relationship with, I guess, it makes him less of a unique character.
Yeah. I
They're
think
very different.
n- now now that I can actually like think more in depth about it, one of the things I think that's unique about Batman and the DC universe, especially in the Justice League, is that this dude has no superpowers. Like, let's just get that out of the way. He has no
He's just smart.
superpowers. He's a millionaire who's really smart, and yet no one looks at him like an outcast. Everybody looks at him as like the perfect character to be in that group, you know?
It's
No one
weird.
thinks of him because he has no superpowers.
Your character's kind of like the character you love the most is kind of like a billionaire outcast who's super smart in a way. Cause in not but like in he kind of like doesn't have friends or like family in a way. And in the Justice
Yeah.
League, he's kind of the loner in a way. And Spider-Man's the outcast because he's smart. He's like the second smartest person in like the Marvel
Yeah.
universe or something like that. And he's like he's poor and he has superpowers. So Batman and Spider-Man are very similar, except Spider-Man's poor and has
They're just in
superpowers, but
different
Batman's rich and
situations.
has no superpowers. It's kind of interesting. But Spider-Man
But
is
in
more of a yeah. Go ahead, because mine was gonna go more off track.
Origins and stuff, I think that was my favorite Batman because I felt like that represented Batman the best he was back then.
Mm.
But um I think that all of them had an opportunity to shine. I Just because the game was bad doesn't mean Batman was bad for Asylum. I think that Batman was one of the coolest Batmans, in my opinion. Because, like, this is the dude that you've been playing for years, okay? Well, if you've been where I was, you've been playing this guy the same for years. And this dude has, like, had a big upcoming ever since the first, you know? And he's like, now this is like his final night. This is his final fight. And this is like him at his biggest and brightest, or however you want to put it.
Wait for
I
night.
just think, yeah,
Okay, here's my. I
because
disagree
even
with this.
okay,
I got annoyed with this. Like, uh, Tim. I think this is my last night. This is the last time we meet. I'm like, why?
I
Scarecrow
hate
isn't
when
that
you,
threatening. Like
I,
he's messed up 40 times. You could have killed him or you could have arrested him like 3 times if it wasn't for the stupid Joker thing. Why is this your final night? They're not threatening. Jason, you solved that easily. The only problem that you caused was your identity because you couldn't take out the Scarecrow because of your stupid Joker thing that was disappointing. Oh, dude, I just got so triggered at that. Oh, it's my
the
last night. These guys, I can't beat them. It's like, yes, you can. You've beaten harder things.
that thing I hate is that he's getting emotional and stuff, and he feels like it's his fault over Jason Todd's quote unquote death. And
Yeah.
literally, he couldn't really do anything.
And
Eh,
I'm getting mad about this Jason thing also. Because
I
Arkham
know.
Knight made me mad. Jason, okay, in the comics, Jason was kidnapped by Joker and beaten to death
Right.
in Africa. And Batman still went to go and save him, but he just failed. He couldn't. But in the Arkham series, Jason was kidnapped and taken to Arkham Asylum and beaten in Arkham Asylum down the street from Bruce Wayne's house, and Bruce Wayne did not go to save
Jeez.
him. Did not go.
Really?
But in the comics, he went to Africa to save Jason. But
I
in
never
the
knew
Arkham
that.
series, he wouldn't go to Arkham Asylum, which is down the street from his house, to go save Jason. That's what makes me annoyed about the Jason Todd thing. is that
I
Batman didn't care, it felt.
I don't know. It's just I think somehow because there was video footage of the Africa one where he literally was trying to get there but blew up. There was literally
Hmm.
footage. I remember this because it was in the movie
It
of
was
literally
the
him
animated
trying to
one,
get.
the Red Hood one.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm glad you remember this. But there was a camera footage of him. We were looking through the camera, and that's when we saw the building blow up. And he
Yeah.
was trying to run there, but he couldn't because he got blown back. Like he's not Superman. He
It's
can't
too
do that.
late. Yeah.
I think the reason why Batman was hit so heavy with it is that he could
He was
always
so
save
close.
anybody. Yeah, he could save everybody from any situation, but the one time he couldn't, happened to be his closest partner at the time. So it's like, what the heck?
And
And
here's what
how
makes me
how does this? Sorry, go ahead.
okay. In the Arkham universe, Joker records Jason and then
Hmm.
shoots him. So, did Batman not go to Asylum to at least pick up the body and check if he was actually dead, or at least bury him and give him a proper burial? Did he just believe the video and leave
Well, how did you
Jason?
know?
What do you mean?
How did you know it was like downtown from his house though? That's why I'm
I'm just saying,
curious.
because Batman lives in basically Gotham, and
He
Arkham
lives like the
Asylum.
outside.
Yeah, exactly, and Arkham Asylum is in Gotham, so he was probably like 10 minutes away minimum. In the comics, he went to Africa, which is hours. Okay, so down the street is a bit of an exaggeration, but not really compared to Africa. It's like Jason was in the same city, but in the comics, he was in a different continent. So it doesn't make sense to me that he wouldn't at least go to check on the body to give Jason a burial. He just believed the video that Joker sent him. Makes me mad.
The thing that doesn't make sense to me is that you would think after that it'd be like somewhat of a trauma, like he wouldn't want anybody. But then he recruits Nightwing. I mean, Nightwing's awesome, don't get me wrong. But he recruits Nightwing, and he was a Robin, and then he recruits Oracle.
Well, Nightwing was Robin before Jason. It was Dick,
Oh,
and then Dick became Nightwing, and then Jason was now the new Robin, and then Jason got killed, so then Tim was the next one.
mm, okay. Oh, wait. Was the Robin that was in the last three games the new Nightwing?
What do you mean?
Because remember, there was always that Robin in the last two games. Sorry, it was in Asylum. No, it was in City.
Yeah.
Was that
No,
the new Nightwing in this night?
no. So in Arkham Origins, the like online Robin,
Yes.
since that was Origins, that was Dick, that was Nightwing.
Right,
But
right.
in the other games, all those Robins were Tim Drake, and Nightwing was, at that time he was Nightwing at that time. Like in City, Dick was Nightwing. In Asylum, I'm assuming he was also Nightwing, and then in Night he was Nightwing. But in the Robins in all those games were Tim at that time.
Mm, okay, that makes more
So
sense now.
so Jason was the Robin between like Origins and Asylum, somewhere in that period, somewhere in that gray space between those games. Because that
I think
online
it
Robin
was.
was Dick. That's why he looked different.
I think because Joker was Black Mask, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was cool too. I thought that was a very cool twist, you know? There's this Black
Yeah.
Mask guy that we never, quote unquote, never met, and then it's like he doesn't come out as intimidating, but he comes out as like a face to fear. and then he takes off his mask, and it's like, wait a minute. This dude that we were like worried about and everything, who came out as kind of scary, is the Joker. You know, I felt like that was a good twist.
I do think that the scene where you know, Joker's wearing the mask, and then he just like laughs, then he turns around and he rips off the black mask, and then just like laughs like maniacally. It's like a scary scene, and it's pretty good.
Oh
I really
yeah,
like it. So I think
I
that's
don't
why that's
remember
one of my
that, but
favorite
that sounds
Jokers
pretty good.
because it's just so good. Oh god, that scared me.
I th I think that was just because that was like Joker at his prime time. Because remember, he didn't have someone to go after, so he didn't feel like he had to be something really. He just was his own character. And I don't know how long it was, but in that game they showed him falling into the toxic waste stuff. So it
hmm
wasn't so long ago as it would be compared to Night in Asylum and City. So I think at that time it's like Joker was really feeling the toxin at that time. So he was just losing it
Yeah.
still. Like
Eh,
I think the toxic did a big boost for that, but I think it was still somewhat of an overtime of the little he had left.
and it's kind of interesting seeing the origin of like their relationship of how like they're opposites in that
Yeah.
game.
I think it was a cool one. I'd have to say that Origins is my favorite.
It's weird because when it comes to like gameplay, like or like fighting, Knight was the best. When it comes to like my story, I think for me, I guess it's Origins. But
Oh
then when it
yeah.
comes to like the map, it's Knight, and then when it comes to Joker, it's
Night?
Origins. So I guess statistically, Knight and Origins are my favorite. So I
Yeah,
guess
that's
it's
what I'm going
tied.
off by.
I think it's tied Knight and Origins, and then City, and then Asylum's last.
Yeah. Um, I feel like for me it's Origins, um, Asylum. No, Origins, Night, Asylum, and City.
Have you played City recently at all?
Not recently, but when I beat it the second time.
Hmm. You enjoy like Asylum a lot more than City?
Yeah. I
It's
mean, I
interesting.
like the story of it better.
I don't like the
I don't know.
story of it. I just
I
didn't like
I think
the end
it's
too.
I think it's because since I mean, yes, I did play it, but I feel like I kind of like just go off of what I felt. Like I was like really young, so I was like so excited. Like, dude, I'm about to play Batman. I'm about to be Batman. I'm about to be the Dark Knight. I'm about to beat guys up. I'm about to see the Joker. You know, like that excitement in me is like there still. You know?
Yeah, the nostalgia. I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
I don't get like nostalgia from games, like, but I just do. I do see. For me, I don't like. For example, the ending for Asylum when Joker just pumps himself with Titan formula, that, and he just becomes a big monster with his ribs hanging out. That didn't seem like something Joker would do to me, so it didn't feel right for a lot of the things.
Hmm.
And
I like
like,
how you could decide when you enter the building to beat the guys up.
and like the boss battles in Asylum kind of suck. They were all just like the same thing. You just kind of,
Yeah.
most of them were just like a big guy that you gotta
Killer
dodge.
Croc was scary. I remember that.
Yeah.
When I first played it, he was God. Dude, doing the river thing was terrifying. Then I played it a second time and I was almost zooming through that part, but still, that part was scary. Especially when you had to run away from him. God, it was the worst. I think that's one of the parts that I like. like how scary it was to face Killer Croc. But that sucks though. Because
What?
think about it. In Origins, he was the first boss that you could defeat easily. But in Asylum, you ran away.
Yeah, I do think
It doesn't.
in also
Uh,
in Origins he was a lot smaller. You could see, like,
oh yeah,
yeah, I think he also kind of
yeah.
buffed
He
up in
had
a
the
way.
opposite Batman. Yeah, he
Yeah,
buffed up. So
so I do
just
think he
totally
did become
fine. But
bigger. Yeah.
I didn't really like the design of Killer Croc in Origins. It made him look a lot more human rather than
Yeah, he did look
crocodile.
smaller.
I didn't like his
But I'm
face.
not a big fan of Killer Croc, so it didn't really affect me that much.
I'm
Like,
not either. I'm just.
I
It's
do
just
like
something to
Bane,
point out.
dude. Bane in Origins was amazing,
Huh.
uh, cause Bane is supposed to be like the opposite of Batman, or not the opposite, but like a close thing to Batman, where he matches Batman's intelligence, but he beats Batman in muscle because of his venom. So that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like the thing with Bane is I love that how smart Bane is in Origins, which is really great.
Wait. So the Bane that was in Asylum, was that just Joker's test? Because I think he tried duplicating Bane's thing. Because there was already a Bane in Origins, and there was this guy who was not wanting to do it in Asylum, and then Joker just puts the toxin in him, and then he becomes Bane. So I
So in
don't.
Origins, I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. Origins when Bane was creating the Titan formula, where it was supposed to be a better version of the Venom that he does to get muscly, and then the Titan formula is what the Joker puts into people to make them big and muscly
Uh,
in Asylum. So the Titan formula is what Bane created. I'm pretty sure. I
right,
think.
yeah, he's the one who started it, obviously. But
Yeah.
so
So what? What's your question?
so what happened to the original one then? If we're always following the new Bane,
What do you mean the original
because
Bane?
the Origins Bane is the one with the thug mask, or at least the ski mask.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The other one has like the iron mask. He has
Oh,
like all that iron stuff. You know what I'm
well,
talking about?
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just because he was in prison, so that's why he looked like that in Asylum.
Yeah, but from what I remember, he sounded like he didn't want to become Bane and all that. So, and he was
Well,
really, really scrawny. And that was before, like, when he wasn't scrawny, or when he wasn't using the fumes, he wouldn't be scrawny. He would be pretty strong without it.
yeah, I don't
Unless his
remember.
body just deflated.
I don't remember. I haven't played Asylum in a while, so I don't know. But I do know the Origins one. There could be a bunch of stuff to where like the Origins one is like it's kind of sloppy, where like the Origins one is already big, but then the Titans or the Venom makes him bigger, but then the because
Yeah.
Asylum came out before Origins, so it could just be like that. Asylum made it one way, and the people that made Origins were like,
Yeah.
but we want
I
it
just
this
feel.
way, so we have to make it like this. So it could just be like continuity
Yeah.
errors. I don't really know.
I
I
just
haven't played him.
I just think the Bane timeline is confusing. I'll definitely look it up, but I
I
think
do like
that
Bane though.
yeah, but I think we should conclude the podcast because this has been going on for who knows how long.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, oh, should we? Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't even know if this has been recording the whole time. So, and now when it shows my recording thing, like how long I've been live, it's not there. So I don't know how long it's been.
Well, um, shoot, let's just, you know, yeah.
Okay.
You want to plug
Well,
ourselves? All that stuff.
okay. Well, you could
Ugh.
follow my socials at lfracturedl. You can see my music stuff at Fractured. Um, uh, you want to plug yourself, my boy?
Um, I have a YouTube, and it's called
Wow.
Disrupt Music. Uh, It'll be there.
Has no
Stuff there
music.
soon. Dot dot dot. Um,
Has no music.
it'll be there soon, within
Okay.
time. And then on Instagram, it's disrupt.music, and that's where I post stuff like teasers. Also
Yeah.
soon. Dot dot dot.
On the 21st, my EP should be coming out. There is a lot of technical difficulties right now with the people that helped me put it out on the other stores, so there may be a delay with that. I apologize for
Make
that
sure
if
to
it
go
comes
like. What? What'd you say? I didn't say anything.
You know I'm gonna have to make a bleep sound for that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I know. Yeah, do that. Do that. It'll
I
be more
hate you. I don't want to work.
Just
You know
cut
how
it out.
long it took me to figure out for the last time we were spilling the tea?
Well,
Just to find
this
that
is at
one
the
part?
end. This is at the end, though. It's easy.
Yeah, fine.
The bleep will make it more interesting. People will be like, "Oh, what is
Oh,
that?"
yeah. Our people would probably be like, "Oh my God, he's so over exaggerating. Jeez,
Yeah, dude.
come on, why?"
Anyway, have a great time. Don't do drugs, and
Uh,
always keep running.
and yeah, and actually use the bathroom when you feel like you should.
Yeah, don't break your bladder.
You really should. Not saying that I know from experience, but you really should.
And as I've said in previous podcasts, and scene.